Hello. Today we're going to discuss basic E1 navigation training. When you first click the link that you were given, if you look at the top on your navigation bar, you should either see 82 or 83. 82 is your training environment. 83 is your production environment. It's very important because anything that you do in production affects your jobs. It's live. It's a live system. In the training environment, you can do whatever you want and not mess anything up. So depending on what environment you're in, preferably right now, you should be in the 82. You come and you log in using your login that you were given. You log in. If everything was successful, then you will come to your home page. I'll explain a couple of the items that you will see when you log in. You're going to see a home screen. This will take you back to the same screen that we see right now. You have your navigation button, which is going to take you to the multiple menus that you have access to. Then you have open applications, and you have recent reports, which we'll get into later. And then we have favorites, and we'll get into that as well. Over to the far right, you're going to see your name, your login name. And then if you click the down arrow button, you're going to also see different items. You're going to see roles with a drop down. You can see all of the roles that are assigned to you. You're also going to see system options and my system profile and preferences. Preferences will bring up some options that you can choose, like open every application in a different window. Your system profile is where it's basically just a little pop-up window. It doesn't really have any meaning to you. But my system options is where you'd have the ability to go in and change your password. Other than that, you really won't be using this at all, except maybe verifying your roles or changing your password if you feel the need to do so. You will be prompted, I believe it's every 90 days, to update your password to E1. So when you first come in, we'll go and we'll take a navigator screen. Oh, over here on the left-hand side, you have open applications, recent reports, and favorites. Same options that are up here. You can hide this by clicking on this little double arrow to hide the carousel. This is what's called carousel. You can hide it and not see it. My preference is to see it. If we start clicking on some of these options in our purchase orders, for instance, you see now under my open applications, I now have an application. Say I'm in purchase orders, but I get a phone call to go and check. I need to check to see if a purchase order has been paid, or I want to go into job status inquiry and look at a particular job. So now, as you see, I have 3 open applications, and I can toggle between them without closing them out. The total number of applications you can have open at any given moment is 7. Something else that you can do when you are in a particular menu option, ignore that, I don't know what that was about, is you can modify your grid. In any menu application that you're in, you see this grid. It's with like a little pencil. It is to personalize your grid. If you click on that, it's going to pull up all the available columns and then what is displayed and how you can order your columns. So in my work with order headers, there may be some items that you aren't necessarily needing, like hold code. You may not want to see RMA type. You press your back button, RMA number, back button. Let's say that you don't necessarily need to see supplier SO, back button. You don't need to ship to, But let's say that we want to reorder these. Oh, well, we really don't need an order type. Let's say that we want to move our branch plant up to the front. You click the up button to move it up and down, and to move it down back to where it was. This is a very basic screen, but just to show you that you can kind of manipulate and change what you want to see in your grid depending on the function that you have. So we're going to click on save. I'm just going to call this PO inquiry or work, enter PO and save. I'm going to set this as a default. So I save the name, and you'll see the name that pops up right. You could call it anything. I'm going to set it as a default. I want to make sure I save it again. I should have done that first. What that means is that whenever I log into this application and I click that, my inner PO is going to be the grid layout that pops up. Also within this grid, there's column format where you could add text color. You could add column color, and we can look at that in another screen. This screen really doesn't lend itself well for that. So I'm going to back out of that. As you see now, here we go. So if I want to look at everything that was ordered, pull up my division, everything that was ordered, looking for a particular PO that I ordered Friday. I see nothing, so maybe it was Thursday. Yes. Let's do greater than 11, 25, 17. Okay. So now I can see who it was ordered by and who the buyer was. Anytime you see at the top records 1 through 10 and you have a little greater than, less than symbol, and you have a backwards K, that means go to end, and that means next. So we're going to go to end to expand all the results and see all the results in one segment. So here we could click into this, any of these POs, and green check, green check. Yeah, it's not going to work.